You're watching KPRC2, Houston's home for news.
Welcome back. Today, sexual assault survivors shared their stories after reports that the Houston Police Department suspended more than 4,000 sexual assault cases due to a lack of personnel. This afternoon, we're taking a deep dive into how this can impact survivors going forward. Joining me now is local trauma therapist Chow Nguyen. Chow, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Always great to see you. You work with these survivors. How does delaying or inactivating a case impact a survivor of sexual assault?
Well, delays are natural when it comes to sexual assault investigations. In the clients I work with at the Forensic Center of Excellence, where we treat sexual assault survivors, survivors are waiting for weeks, months, sometimes years for the disposition of their case. Will it go to the grand jury? What after the forensic interview they've done? They stay in touch with their investigators. So the delays are already commonplace. Now to hear that the inactivated cases, some going back 6 years, is going to be activated, and that survivors may get a call from their investigators that say, hey, we're going to bring up this case, can we bring you back in? That can be really traumatizing. Andy, can you imagine that after a few years, a lot of the clients that we see have moved on with their case? I tell them often that they can get healing, but that justice and accountability may be delayed and it may not happen. There are so many frustrations with sexual assault investigations to begin with. Now to add to this issue that it could be inactivated to activated, and it happened years ago. Survivors may come and they may not remember things. It happened so long ago, and having to retell your story and tell it again after a long time can be very frustrating and re-traumatizing.
And you talk about it being re-traumatizing for those survivors. How does the process work with respect to these sexual assault cases and the investigations?
So we work in very close quarters with law enforcement, the forensic nurses, the investigators, law enforcement, the district attorney's office. So when a survivor decides he or she wants to bring the case forward to authorities, it may happen after a forensic nurse interview. A survivor may have been sexually assaulted and gone to the hospital, where one of our forensic nurses will meet them, or they can come to our office to have what is called a sexual assault exam. From there, the survivor decides, I'm going to take my case to police. And that takes a lot of courage because it's scary. I mean, I think a lot of people know that the law enforcement and the criminal justice process is slow. So once they decide, I'm going to talk to an investigator, the investigator with Houston Police, the Harris County Sheriff's Office, steps in, and they work in concert with the Forensic Center of Excellence, where we have forensic interviewers that can talk to the survivor and have her share her story in a trauma-informed, safe way that's not in a police station with a law enforcement officer with a gun in his holster. We do it in a very safe environment where they can share their story and tell it so they don't have to tell it again and again. Once that process happens, then that case goes before the district attorney's office, and that's where it can take time. The district attorney can either accept the case, it can go before the grand jury, and I've seen clients who have waited for a few years before their case gets disposed of. And then what we know about the criminal justice process when it comes to sexual assault survivors, is sometimes they may not get the justice that they want. A lot of perpetrators walk free from their cases. So the process through and through can be very frustrating. And to add to this, more frustration and just more trauma could be witnessed.
Yeah, and certainly many survivors now questioning their faith in the system. Chow Nguyen, local trauma therapist, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Appreciate your insight and your perspective. Certainly a very important conversation to have, Lisa, and certainly just as important to make sure that these sexual assault survivors continue to have their voices heard.
Absolutely.